What's up, dudes? Max here. So we haven't done a discussion video like this in quite some time, and I've been thinking about something kind of specific and related to things that I love, which is Capcom fighting games. And as we all know, Capcom fighting games haven't been in the most prestigious of states over the past few releases, and there's a notable absence in a lot of the Capcom release schedule over the next year or so, where I think a discussion can be had, and there's a lot of hopes in this video. There's a lot of us talking of what we would love to see about Capcom going into the future, especially considering how good they've been doing on almost every single front except for the fighting games, even though Street Fighter V is in a lot better state than it ever has been right now, and I can completely acknowledge that. But most of their other big projects did leave a lot to be desired, and we kind of talk a bit about what we would love to see going forward if anything were to happen. Hopefully you guys enjoy the conversation. This is a bit of a long one, and we take several different tangents talking about it, but it's mostly related to an interesting thing that's potentially going to be happening with Capcom fighting games, hopefully very soon. Either way, I was saying to Simmons, and I was saying to you guys that, I was saying this to the chat, that there is a weird disparity right now of Capcom fighting games, because the last one that came out was Capcom Infinite. No. Actually, it was Street Fighter Anniversary, technically. But it's like, yeah, not a main game.
Who the fuck remembers?
Not a main game.
Yeah.
But it's a Capcom fighting game that came out. And if you look at the history of Capcom fighting games, Jackal Treehorn, thank you. If you look at the history of Capcom fighting games when they come out, ever since like Marvel 3, like post Street Fighter 4, there's been a Capcom fighting game release, like a big one, every couple years, 2 to 3 years, a big one. And then in between, smaller ones. Like HD remasters, like Darkstalkers, Marvel Origins, Search Strike Online Edition, Street Fighter, Ultra Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Anniversary. There's always, like, they always sprinkle things here and there all over the place.
To keep you
like, and then you get the big games, Marvel 3, Ultimate Marvel 3, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, Ultra Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 5 Arcade Edition.
So the big one's coming.
All I'm saying is that there's always a big fighting game thing, and Street Fighter just had Arcade Edition.
Yeah.
Like, and even they said Season 4 is going to be a lot different.
I was saying this right after Evo.
Yeah.
What are they going to do for next Evo?
They need something.
They're going to do the same thing where, like...
Anonymous.
Like Arc Systems.
I'm not saying it's Marvel 4. Anonymous, what's up, dude? I'm not saying it's Marvel 4. All I'm saying is that they usually do something. And right now, it's been a year, almost a year, since Street Fighter Anniversary Collection actually came out, their last fighting game.
Yeah.
And there has been not even a trailer.
Yeah, there's
nothing. Like, usually we'd get a trailer soon after, and then the game would come out right now.
That's what people were hoping for the last tournament, though.
Well, that's what I mean, people are hoping for fucking something.
Yeah.
But usually they at least are setting you up for, like, here's the next, HD remake of an old fighting game, or something like a tease at a new game.
Give us something, Capcom. Give us something.
It has been almost like 2 years since Marvel Infinite.
Yeah.
So we're in that time frame where it's like there's like the oven should definitely have something that's close to being something you need to show.
Yeah.
At least that's the way they've been working for the past decade. Like, it could be a port of Street Fighter 2 again. It could be. They literally did that for the last couple of games with Ultra Street Fighter 2, and then Marvel Infinite came out, and then Anniversary Collection came out after that. So they've been riding that Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, coattails for full time.
I think one of the best possibilities, the best possibilities is that they just, like, covert release Marvel 2. Like, all of a sudden Marvel 2 shows up.
Yeah,
like Marvel 2, HD
Did you see that new combo? That was sick.
What?
It was like a cable combo in Marvel 2.
Really?
Yeah, it was dope. Super sick.
Like,
I've never seen that combo. He connected the time flip and did like a sick ass combo after.
Really?
I've seen people do
that. I love time flip combos.
Time flip, because you do it with the Sentinel assist. So they do it, and then the Sentinel assist carries on. And
I've seen that with Spiral. Really? She comes in and does her multiple
hands and then time flip.
Yeah, the Spiral, like, clone or whatever.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that there is definitely something missing from Capcom's library of games, and they have a 2019 that currently only has a Monster Hunter update in it.
Yeah,
the only announced thing Capcom has this year is literally Iceborne, and it's an update to Monster Hunter. It's not even a full game. And they've said we need one AAA game every year. They keep saying that, and we don't. There's nothing. So, and it's also now almost a couple of years, even since the release of Marvel Infinite. So we're due for, like, at least a trailer for a big fighting game.
Yeah.
Or a trailer for something.
They released a AAA fighting game, not just a AAA game, because we already
Well,
just got
AAA, yeah, even AAA fighting game. Like,
Yeah.
they usually go 2 to 3 years for every AAA fighting game. And even if a trailer came out, like, tomorrow
Yeah.
for a AAA fighting game, it's still not going to come out until, like, maybe next
like this
year.
year, yeah,
Like,
late
maybe
this year,
maybe
next year,
early
yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
So that would still be like, oh, they went 2.5 years since the release of MBCI, and here's the next fighting game, the next big one.
Seriously.
It could be. I mean, all I'm saying is that it could be. That
You know what?
there should be something happening.
The fighting game.
It won't be, yes,
The
but
fighting
damn.
game is just going to be called Capcom.
I would die.
It's called Capcom.
It was one of the
And
happiest
it's
things.
fucking like a massive.
It was one of the
Capcom.
funniest things. I won't mention who, but I've been mentioning to several Capcom employees that I want a Capcom All Stars game that should be called Capcom versus Capcom. And when I mentioned to them, I'm like, what about a Capcom game that's just Capcom characters? When I talk to them, I'm like a Capcom versus Capcom. I'm like, I am so fucking glad you guys use that terminology for the game.
Capcom
That-
All Stars.
Capcom versus Capcom.
Capcom All Stars. Let's do
But
it.
yeah, All Stars
Bring
would
it
be
back.
nice. But I love the title Capcom versus Capcom because it has that. What?
Yeah, right?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah,
but
sure.
what?
No, look, I mean, you have the IP
They would
to
never
do
do
that.
that, but I love it.
You have the IP to do that.
Versus Capcom,
Like, you have so many fucking
or
characters.
just called Capcom, and they
Capcom versus.
They would just update it all the time. It
Capcom
would go like
versus,
season
perfect.
10, season
It'd be amazing.
15. and just this
to me,
fucking
that's
awesome.
the dream game. A
Yeah.
Capcom versus Capcom game made by Itsuno is the dream game.
Yeah.
It's a versus fighting game. That is
Cap
like 2v2.
versus
That would be
Capcom.
perfect title. I think
Capcom.
that's the perfect title. Capcom versus. The end.
Capcom versus, yeah.
Yeah, Capcom versus. Just put it out there, have motherfuckers get in there, start whopping on each other, have all the IPs that you have in your entire arsenal. You have so many characters, Capcom.
So
throw it out.
All I'm saying is that there is definitely, if you look at the past 10 years of Capcom fighting games and the releases that they've had, it all kind of lines up within the time frame. They release something every year, like a fighting game of some kind every year, whether or not it's a brand new big game or just a rehash of an older game. And there's a lot of old fighting games that they have that have not been rehashed.
Yeah, they got nothing for this year.
Yeah, nothing for this year. Like a couple years ago, it was like Street Fighter Arcade Edition.
It's still kind of early in the year, though.
Oh.
No, there's no trailers yet.
Yeah.
There's nothing. We knew RE2 remake was coming for like 3 years.
Right, yeah.
We knew it was always on the horizon. It was
Yeah.
coming
Yeah,
eventually.
they announced it in
But that was
2019.
a AAA
Yeah.
game.
Like, we knew it was going to happen someday.
Capcom. Yeah, that's actually true. Capcom Versus is the name of one of their mobile games. That's like
Oh, yeah.
a mobile strategy game that they have.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but it's full of like just Capcom characters like Captain Commando and Frank West.
What was the RPG one with all the fucking?
That's Namco X Capcom.
Namco X
That's
Capcom,
a different. That's an older 3DS. game.
Okay.
Best case scenario that makes everybody happy and on the side of like that brings the Capcom fighting game like fans back because everyone's like, you're Capcom and fighting games now, you go, ugh.
Yeah.
It's like, ugh. There's always like a negative connotation. Here's how you fix that. You do a trailer that just has like Wolverine and Ryu shake hands, and you show like a couple like a seconds of footage.
Yeah.
And it looks like Marvel 3, but way better, and is using like all the characters from MVCI and Ultimate Marvel 3. But don't show everybody. It's just
Look at silhouette.
It actually looks great.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's coming. We're working hard on it. We want to make you all happy. It's going to arrive like early next year. And then after that, but to let everyone know that we love these characters, we want them back. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 HD is available now on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch, and PC. You can play it online. It has GGPO, and it's crossplay.
now.
It's crossplay.
And everybody fucking just loses their mind.
And it's $20.
Like,
there you
God.
go.
Yeah.
It's like $20. You can play Marvel 2, one of history's greatest fighting games, available now on everything. And then, or the best case scenario, Marvel vs. Capcom Collection, and it's all of them, and some of them are online.
Ooh.
Just like Anniversary Collection, where it's like X-Men vs. Street Fighter is online, Marvel vs. Capcom 1 is online, and Marvel 2 is online. Children of the Atom, Marvel superheroes, I'd like them, but I'm okay with them not being online.
Marvel superheroes.
Children of the Atom.
So
Here we go.
Children of the Atom. No, Marvel superheroes.
Here's the big brain. Here's the big brain choices we're gonna have to make right now.
Okay.
Versus game collection of the Marvel vs. Capcom games. You have to choose 3 of them that'll be online, just like Anniversary did with Alpha 3, Third Strike, and Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Is this a Liam? Freaking. Is this a Liam?
There was 3 games that they chose to be online
We had
in
2 versions of Street Fighter 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, it was 4 games.
Yeah.
It was Hyper Fighting.
Well, yeah, it was Hyper Fighting and just vanilla.
Hyper
2.
Fighting ST and Hyper Fighting ST, and then they had Third Strike and Alpha 3 is what they chose with Anniversary Collection.
Yeah.
If you have the 7 Marvel vs. Capcom games outside of like the current generation ones, the classics.
Yeah.
No
No 3D.
Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Jesus!
You have to choose 3 of those games that'll be online. In my personal opinion, X-Men vs. Street Fighter.
Yes.
Online.
Yes, mandatory.
Marvel vs. Capcom 1.
Mandatory.
Online.
Let's
Marvel
go.
vs. Capcom 2 online.
Let's go.
Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, it's a great game, one of the best announcers in fighting game history. Doesn't really need online. X-Men vs. Street Fighter kind of fills that. I think kind of fills
the void.
Could you?
And then Marvel Superheroes and Coda and Children of the Atom.
Children of the Atom.
I think I'm okay with those not being the best case scenario. All of them are online.
The
best case
problem
scenario.
with Children of the Atom is that game was broken. The first one.
I hate to break it to you.
One, but it was,
all these games
it was
are
broken.
horribly fucking
But
broken.
the insanity that was fucking Children of the Atom after everything got revealed.
When people knew how to play Coda, that game is
oh god,
it is but it's beautiful.
Of course,
it's not because it's not easy.
And then you get the fucking Secret Akuma in there too, and you just fuck around and do all this dumb shit and everything.
Coda
like
is
that.
a pretty looking game. Actually.
I know. I'm not saying
Especially
anything.
it aged well.
I am not saying shit about Marvel Superheroes because I think Marvel Superheroes is the best 1v1 playing versus game. Marvel Superheroes is responsible for the combo system because that's where it showed up.
Right,
like
right,
aerial rave, like proper air chain. And MSH is awesome. I think it's actually I like it more than Coda gameplay.
Well, the first one was still Children of the Atom. It's just that you couldn't when you launched them, you had to push down up.
It was goofy shit.
Yeah.
It was
just launch.
It was like they were figuring out how
to
this
do
was gonna work.
rubbish like that. Yeah, you couldn't actually do it.
So, all I'm saying is that if you had to make the hard choices, I think X-Men vs. Street Fighter is a better representation of having the Marvel superheroes characters and the X-Men, the X-Men and Street Fighter characters, because that game is more critically important than Coda and MSH.
Yeah.
Like, people remember X-Men vs. Street Fighter. It's like a very monumental game. So, that should be online, just because.
Yeah.
And then Marvel 1 is Marvel fucking 1.
Yeah.
And Marvel 2 is obvious. So if you had to choose 3, we're not saying anything's happening. I'm just saying if there was a Marvel vs. Capcom collection, that's like the best case scenario. In my brain,
there's Corey Balrog.
In my brain, there's other possibilities out there. Like the fighting game they could be working on
right?
is Power Stone. I think there could be a Power Stone collection that would come out for Switch and everything.
We don't talk about Power Stone.
Really?
We don't talk about Bloodborne here. We don't talk about Power Stone.
You have to start thinking of what fighting games could Capcom bring back to sort of remind you all that it exists.
Yeah,
and just throw it out on Switch and everything. Power Stone makes a lot of sense.
Power Stone, Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers, they already tried.
They already did Darkstalkers with
already
Darkstalkers
tried.
Resurrection.
And
So that didn't really
pan
work out.
Yeah.
There could be a Darkstalkers game somewhere out there.
Rival
Dude,
Schools?
Sunday.
Power Stone and Rival School Collection.
School,
Rival
yeah.
School Collection would
There
be
you
pretty
go.
smart.
Yeah.
Power
Tatsunoko versus
Schools.
Capcom I don't think will ever happen again. I think
No,
Tatsunoko-
it's a licensing nightmare.
Yeah. Tatsunoko.
It's sad because I think the game
Cobra Shocker.
is solid for what it is.
I couldn't get used to the diagonal,
it's a good-
directional bullshit.
It's a good game, but it's you're never going to.
Yeah,
see it
Super
again.
Gem Fighter Mini Mix as well as
Well,
Pocket
we got a
Fighter.
Gem Fighter, Puzzle Fighter, or not
and
Puzzle
Puzzle Fighter
Pocket
in
Fighter,
one package would be great.
Yeah, I think
Capcom versus SNK Collection would be godlike.
Who the fuck remembers Star Gladiator? I'm sorry. I'm a
big fan of some parts of Star Gladiator, but the gameplay in those games,
Yeah.
they're a little weird.
If I can remember that
They're
shit.
cool visual representations, but
Yeah.
Star Gladiator is one of those weird Capcom fighting games.
Yeah, they're all not going to be hits, man. Come on now.
So many people's outside representation of what Capcom is the Street Fighter company.
Yeah.
People think they usually don't immediately go to Resident Evil, even though Resident Evil
Apex
sells much
Legends,
more.
Capcom Legends.
The world representation of what Capcom is they think of Ryu and Ken. Ryu, Ken, and Chun-Li.
Yeah.
That's Capcom.
Didn't it feel like that was literally what was happening at the spoiler alert? Spoiler alert! Didn't it feel like that was happening at the end of Devil May Cry? It felt like Ryu versus Ken. It just felt like that.
Oh, that's what was I telling you before you played it? This game is Capcom-y as fuck,
right? It felt so.
It feels
fucking
so
right.
Capcom.
Look, it's Ryu and Ken. They're going at it.
So many
They beat
things
each other
building up
oh
of the way characters transform into crazy demon forms.
Yeah, and it's fucking
now
crazy
Dante
shit.
and Nero look like they came out of fucking Monster Hunter or some shit.
They're just what is fucking going on?
This game is Capcom-y as
Dude,
fuck.
Capcom recycles them. Ken and Ryu, Mega Man and Zero, Dante and fucking Virgil.
Almost like it's a good formula that works.
Right? Go figure. And they're both red and blue. Red and blue, red and blue.
Venom and Spider-Man.
It's Venom and Spider-Man. It's
almost like it's a formula that works that people like it.
They're just recycling the same.
Not really recycling. They're all
Capcom didn't
unique.
invent that.
Well, no, they
It's been
didn't.
around
I
forever.
mean, fucking Goku and Vegeta.
Yeah.
Same
Oni-
shit.
Oni
been around-
everything
it's
is
been around
fucking
forever.
and Evil Ryu.
Oni,
Red
and blue, right?
I mean, it is the way it is. So all I'm saying is that
Ono and Harada.
there should be something out there soon, and hopefully we'll hear about it sooner than later. But I kind of got my
a lot of people are talking about Marvel versus Capcom, like on forums and shit, more than usual right now because everyone's like, just there should be something somewhere, and it's almost been 2 fucking years. Like it's been a year and a half. It's crazy how
doesn't feel like it,
it's been a year and a half since NBCI even came out. It's been over 2 years since it was announced. It's been almost 2.5 years.
Think about
since it was
that,
announced.
dude. That's it's like another cycle.
It is. It's literally an entire cycle of a brand new NetherRealm game from like Injustice 2 to MK.
Yeah. That's
Those
what
guys,
I was saying at the end of EVO last year. What is Capcom going to do? Are we
what
gonna
do they have to
are we gonna roll into EVO 2019 and they're just gonna be like, here's the last character of season 4? I'm like, are we really just gonna do that again?
Here's Sea Viper.
Now we don't even have a season 4 as far as we know.
And they've been super dude.
So yeah, like what's
sparse.
What's gonna happen? Arcs is gonna come out. Here's another fucking like anime for BlazBlue again, and then like here's this character for Soul Calibur 6. Here's this character for Dragon Ball FighterZ. Whatever. Maybe even Nintendo could even come out and say, here's the next Smash character. What's Capcom gonna walk out and say? Hello everybody, how you doing? What do we got? Like great show. I'm happy we're all here and. Enjoy the tournament! Bye! What about
they did last
game?
Literally what they did. Well, they did show G and they did show Sagat.
And they're like, hey, and they're available, and they're available now.
They had a super weird.
What was it? It was
Final Round.
Yeah, Final Round.
I know. Well, everyone's been anticipating there's going to be something for Street Fighter V since Kage, and Kage was like months ago or some shit.
He wasn't.
But they have been like they just put in a Kenji costume from Fighting Evolution from Fighting Jam.
Yeah.
The ninja guy that's in Warzard, that's next to like the weird ninja dude. They're putting his costume over Ziku. So like that's awesome. They're like Jin Saotome, Jin from Marvel vs. Capcom.
I saw that.
Is over
right,
you.
Right,
like,
yeah.
That's fucking dope, bro. Gutsman is on Boxer.
Did you see what they did to the costume of Jin when you take off the armor?
Oh yeah, he has his taunt. He has his what's it called? Fundoshi.
Yeah, this motherfucker's butt naked.
Yeah,
he's got this little fucking thing on.
Did you ever taunt
with?
Did you ever taunt with Jin in Marvel?
Of course. Yeah, he's fucking butt naked.
Yeah, he pulls a wet towel. He pulls a wet towel over his back and he scratches his back with it. And he goes, the faster you press taunt, the faster he goes. And then it lights his back on fire, and the flame has a hitbox.
Yeah.
So he's like, ah, and you see his like raw flexing ass. He's like, ah, like doing this shit.
I can do that in real life.
It's him drying his back.
Yeah.
It was goofy because he's like the traditional Japanese, like I'm the Japanese man.
Let's hit them showers.
Yeah, right.
Imagine if Marvel 4 is a game that exists in the future,
right?
And it comes with a gallery mode, and then that gallery mode, it's like, here's the soundtracks from all the previous Marvel vs. Capcoms.
Yeah.
Choose which stage you like them on.
Oh my god! You can change the fucking.
We have a variety of brand new stages that are lavish and crazy and are mishmashes of different stages from Capcom lore, but also. Here's the carnival from Marvel 2.
Oh yeah, the 3D.
Here's a remake of the carnival from Marvel 2 in the background.
Oh my god!
Imagine if Marvel 4 recognizes that people love Marvel vs. Capcom and they just start going.
You're like this. Oh, you remember that?
People like this character doing
so
it.
Memory
This is the little shopping mall of Marvel versus. We'll just put that in there
with the two kids. With the 2 kids, like mimicking
how about we have
game show?
How about we have a stage where Apocalypse and Cyber Akuma are fighting in the background?
Oh my god!
And we'll just put that in
Apocalypse
there.
and fucking
like,
Akuma.
how about you take me for a goddamn ride? Take us for a ride, and you make it a celebration of classic stages and new stages.
Capcom's not Sakurai.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm asking for. I'm asking for a celebration of video games in Marvel vs. Capcom form, like Smash does with everything.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what I'm asking for.
They were pulling. It's crazy to think about with Ultimate. Like, they pulled stages from fucking 64. Touched them up, made them a little higher resolution.
Marvel vs. Capcom 1, what was the boss's name?
That was Onslaught.
Onslaught versus Apocalypse. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Put it in there.
Fuck it.
Yeah, put it in there. Have a fucking going crazy.
Guess what? It ain't a problem now.
Well, Mugen's already done it.
Oh, I know Mugen's done it.
Yeah.
But it ain't a problem if there's a Marvel 4. Ain't a problem now. That Fox deal was donezo a week ago.
That's right.
Ain't a problem now.
Disney owns
everything. Disney owns all of that shit now. Marvel owns Marvel. Yeah. No, there's no longer an initiative, which we did here, to make the game MCU focused and to not put fucking obviously because they weren't in it.
Yeah.
It's now better than ever. It was almost like Marvel Infinite happened. It was almost like it happened at the worst time possible. because of what was happening.
Disney, man, I'm fucking.
It was almost like of course, why would they choose
We got
to have?
Galactus now.
Why wouldn't they have the
Silver
characters that
Surfer
people wanted so bad in there? And even if they were going to be DLC down the line, even if like X-Men and Wesker and Doom were going to be DLC down the line, even if they were, people called them out on their bullshit day one.
I can
Yeah,
imagine
they did.
happening. I could imagine them.
Bro,
getting
they
into a
could put
meeting
in
with Marvel.
Predator in there. They could put
And
Alien versus fucking
someone-
Marvel and shit.
Yeah,
they
I-
own it all.
I can
Fucking
imagine
Disney
a
owns it
meeting
all. They
going
don't
on
care.
at Marvel with Capcom. They're like, okay, this all sounds great, and then someone at Disney / Marvel just goes, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck your characters. How about we just do like a big Disney versus? It just becomes like Marvel versus everything Disney owns. And then they're like, you're gonna make it for us, Capcom. And I was like, but our characters are fucking. And then they just make like this
If
big
Disney
Marvel
makes a
versus Star
versus
Wars
one,
versus
if Disney
everything
makes a
else.
versus one with the Disney characters, it should be
Disney stuff
Marvel.
is too petty. They wouldn't give enough money to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I could almost see that happening. Where like
Hey, Colorman, thank
some
you, dude.
bigwig in the office is just like, why are we
Disney
doing
versus
Marvel
Capcom.
versus
Disney
Capcom?
doing Marvel.
Our characters
Yeah.
are so much bigger
yeah,
than yours.
sure.
Why
So
are we-
ruined.
Why
Well,
bother
so
putting
ruined.
your shit in there?
So I mean,
WB guy.
You can make
guy
your
who likes
way,
Batman
but-
So
movies.
I have an answer to that.
I heard
Video
Shazam is
games-
actually really good. Everybody's saying
A
Shazam's
lot
amazing.
of video games are decided via board meetings. Decided via
yeah.
executives that we need to copy this, we need to make this game like this
What
game.
will make
to do
us
this.
more money? What will make us the most money?
A lot of games are designed by board meetings, right?
Yeah.
But a lot of games are the result of producers that are like, well, we need a project that's going to make people happy, and that also I'm personally invested in.
Yeah.
One of the lead producers that worked on Marvel Infinite, I won't say their names, I don't want to out anybody, but he was an ex-Capcom employee.
Yeah.
And so he worked on Capcom fighting games back in like the 2000s and shit.
Yeah.
And he's like a Capcom fighting game fan. So he was like, well, why don't we have a Marvel vs. Capcom? And then Capcom's like, sure. So,
Sure,
and,
do
then,
it.
and then that's where Marvel Infinite, that's where I knew Marvel vs. Capcom started, because they were running Marvel games. Like, the guy that was an ex-Capcom employee was running Marvel
That
games.
seems so hard to come by. Having somebody that higher ups that are actually that appreciate the old games.
And
That's
they're
so
not
hard to
going to
come
be
by.
like an overseer of like making sure everything's okay.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much them going like, hey, I like that thing. We used to work on that thing. Let's make sure that thing keeps going. And it's a
wait a
hardcore
minute.
fan.
I
gotta
like
make
that
it.
thing. Let's
You know
do
what's
that
happening
thing.
now?
Hmm.
You can put Lin Kurosawa in MVC.
Oh, Jesus.
You can do it because
Whoa.
now there's absolutely nothing holding it back.
Explain to me the Lord Lin Kurosawa because I'm not a
Alien
weeb like you guys.
versus,
Alien
Predator.
versus Predator at the Capcom
game.
game. The
Yeah.
girl. The ninja girl.
Oh, okay.
She's got guns and she's got swords and she's got backflips. And
She's
shit.
got guns.
She's got guns.
Oh shit.
One
Okay,
of my
okay.
favorite female characters. She's essentially like pre-Ibuki,
Yeah, yeah.
but techno Ibuki.
Where's your
There's a face
memorabilia
Jones.
of her? You know.
It's over there.
Oh!
I have the poster.
Dude, when
Oh,
are those
oh, okay.
figures coming out, dude?
Those figures are coming out soon.
Yeah, remember those figures?
I'm gonna buy a few. I'm
Goddamn.
gonna buy a few. Good call, Simmons.
Good goes.
Very good
I
call.
just thought about that. That can happen.
Yeah, if things happen in the future as a result. So back to what I was saying, like the whole reason MVCI even happened was because there was a guy that worked at Capcom. Was like, we should probably do a fighting game with Capcom again. Like,
Yeah.
let's do that because there's a hardcore community that loves those games and they're celebrated and shit. And fighting game community is awesome.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason why Marvel Infinite even came to existence. A lot of crazy shit probably happened in between that time frame to make the game come out the way it did.
Yeah.
But that whole establishment sort of began because of like someone had to be interested.
Yeah.
Someone had to be like, we should put our money into this. We should spend all of our time figuring this shit out. Like the same way that Killer Instinct came to fruition, it was a guy that worked at Microsoft that was essentially like, we should do a fighting game.
Yeah.
Let's see if anyone can make
promoted it.
KI again.
Yeah.
And then start figuring that is a shit ton of work. It's a shit ton of effort. It's a shit ton of a lot of stuff. And you need a representative on both sides that are willing to champion that. You know,
Yeah.
you need someone that's going to be the champion. Like Ken Lobb was one of the guys,
That did
and
it,
Adam
yeah.
at Microsoft to sort of champion like Killer Instinct.
Yeah.
Even though they weren't like
Somebody has
writing
to push-
characters and stuff, they were helping and making the game happen.
Somebody has to push for the game to be a reality.
That's the way a lot of the video game industry works. For people that are kind of new to this, it's usually like big executive decisions that happen by like people that don't have any involvement in games, and then you get down to a level where you need someone to have an interest.
Yeah.
Like we should do another MVC game, and that's the part where me personally thinks this is why this is a 1 in 14,605,000 chance of this happening. Because after MVCI, who's gonna want to be like?
You don't want to be that guy that's like, hey, let's make another.
Let's get back on that horse.
Yeah.
Let's just jump up on the saddle and start riding off into the sunset.
And all you see is the execs giving him the fucking stank eye.
After like, yeah, and then like, they're like, you're gonna do that in
fuck.
But it didn't sell to expectations, and everyone was mad at us.
Oh.
And you'd have to have people that would like truly love the shit out of Marvel versus Capcom.
It comes down to how you sell it. Somebody can come up to him and say, okay, well, that didn't sell to our expectations, and he brings out the books. Boom! This game sold for 1 million units, and it wasn't even up to par. It wasn't up to par! So imagine if we actually made the game good, and then we could sell even more units.
Yeah.
See exactly how this
Steve's trying to sell this game
right?
See how this
works?
Steve's trying very hard.
Well, exactly.
Good is irrelevant. They don't care if it's good or not.
Well,
they
that's
only
the thing.
care if it
How much
sells.
made money?
Well, okay, but selling the idea that the game will be good, will sell more units, will be perfect for an
Why do you
executive.
sell that? That's a nebulous.
Because it sold so much when it was terrible.
But even
that's why, and there was
even
no
when it
effort
was
behind
terrible, it still did not sell what they needed it to sell.
Right, because it was bad.
Like quality is never a factor in this at all. It's
and it should be.
Exactly.
Of course it should.
Right. Yes.
Of course, but it's not. They literally just look at they just look at numbers.
MVCI
That's all they know.
Yeah, MVCI didn't
because
even...
the investors are like, yeah, we need our money back now.
People keep looking at it like, I see like MVCI selling 1 million is a miracle. MVCI didn't sell 1 million. MVCI sold 1.4.
Yeah.
It sold better than Ultimate Marvel 3 in the end. And it took
not Marvel Vanilla.
Not Vanilla Marvel 3.
No,
not at all. Not Vanilla Marvel 3. So like, just as comparison, there is, I don't know how the hell Marvel Infinite looking the way it did with the roster that it had at launch.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck that game sold 1 million copies.
Marketing.
There was none, dude.
There was no marketing.
There was no commercials for that game anywhere. Where?
I remember seeing tournaments where they were constantly fucking throwing the goddamn thing in our faces.
Tournaments?
Yeah.
Who
No
gives
tournaments.
a shit about that?
Well, I guess yeah. I mean,
There's like
there's not enough million people. I don't
10,000
fucking
people
think of it.
watching a tournament. Did you see an advertisement during like the NBA Finals or
No,
something
nothing
like
like that.
Well, then
Nothing
there
like
you
that.
go.
Yeah.
Like, what marketing? Like I
I guess
remember
it's the title itself.
I remember the same thing. Like I was asking other people that like, yeah, I'm playing some Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. They're like, oh, that came out. So many people were like, they had no idea that game came out because it kind of just was like, "Bleh," and it just showed up one day. So I mean,
I didn't see any commercials for like Dragon Ball, like fucking. I didn't see any commercials for fucking Dragon Ball.
I
nothing
I
for
saw
that.
a lot of advertisement for that game.
Where?
On the internet.
On the internet and shit?
And the awareness was huge too because it looked so good.
But that was the same thing for fucking MVCI. The awareness for it.
There was
just
no awareness for MVCI because it looked terrible.
It looked terrible.
And had no.
Maybe that was the
Dragon Ball.
awareness. It's
Well,
like,
no,
this
that
man
was
was
the
talking
problem.
shit.
The only awareness was that people were talking shit.
Yeah.
So with so many people talking shit because the game is obviously lacking everything that people are used to having than Marvel vs. Capcom that they want, which is characters and good visuals.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have that. How the hell does that game still go on to sell 1 million copies?
Yeah.
And much less 1.4. Like that blows my mind. That actually shows you that there is still even a hardcore enough audience dedicated enough to still
There's a lot of them.
to still buy into
Yeah,
the fact
buy
that the
it.
game was total bullshit at launch.
Yeah.
And granted, the gameplay was amazing, and it still is amazing to this day. But man, there was some problems with the game at launch. And it really didn't become a great fighting game until after that first big patch where like Dante was nerfed and everything.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
around November, October-ish.
Yeah.
As soon as Venom and Winter Soldier sort of turned up. Then the game was like, oh, this game is so special.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a good point.
The last
too
one
about
was
all the
Black Panther
discounts.
and Venom, right?
Most-
That was the last.
The
last
the
update.
vast majority of people who bought Marvel Infinite didn't buy it at $60.
Oh, absolutely not.
So-
but the same thing goes for Ultimate Marvel 3 came out at $40.
So that's the thing is like Disney's not getting a lot of money back
Well, that was-
because a lot of people are buying it for $30, $20.
And I think
You
what
know.
I personally feel is that a lot of the reason that game sold well, I don't know how it ends up selling well, but a lot of the reason the game ended up selling well, story mode. It actually had a big cinematic story mode.
Yeah.
Story mode was not good. Granted, story mode was not good, but I have heard from a lot of casual reviews that the story mode is the best part of the game. And people actually like the story
Imagine
mode.
Casual.
I don't know how.
Yeah,
Alright, now
casual,
speaking of
sorry.
story, imagine if NetherRealm did a story for Marvel vs. Capcom. How fucking cool would that be?
Well,
That shit would be like a
they
fucking
would actually
movie.
put a whole bunch of effort into it.
Yeah, put a bunch of effort and money, and that
And,
shit
like,
would be like a fucking movie.
would have-
You would watch the Marvel vs. Capcom story mode, and it would be like, God damn.
I think it's always
this-
funny how
It would be fucking
Like-
awesome.
Warner Brothers could almost never get their movies to be good. But their animation and their game
Game
stories
is
super good,
yeah.
super high level, super well written, all that shit.
That might change with
Yes.
that might change with
10 to
Shazam.
77.
Yeah.
Well, like, but Disney's always been like, they have these really good Marvel movies. Marvel animation's always like,
Yeah.
Marvel game stories.
People actually like, and that's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
why
Marvel games
that's
is
my
trash.
argument. Why
Marvel
MVCI ended up selling as much as it did, which doesn't make any sense to me, even as a guy who loves playing Marvel Infinite.
Right, yeah. It's
Still,
just odd.
still to this day, my favorite playing Capcom fighting game since CVS2. How the hell does that game and everything else still convince people to buy it?
Yeah.
The story mode. Story mode's what
The
sold
game
it.
about-
And that's the thing that's been missing from a lot of Capcom fighting games is the story mode.
But
And he was even missing from Street Fighter V at launch.
I was just about to say that. You know what?
came
Had a
to
big
it-
fucking story mode. Street Fighter
even though,
5.
even though it was free, it came too late.
Oh, I see.
People had
Yeah,
already
yeah.
made up their mind. Similar to how people already made up their mind about Marvel Infinite.
Yeah,
You know?
by the time it came out.
And that's, you know what? I don't actually blame people for the way they feel about MVCI. But I can kind of like, it's a little shitty for you to blame the game being complete trash and everything about it is trash if you've never played it.
Right, exactly.
At least play it and be like, game kind of sucks.
But some people are kind of like you. You have this mentality where if it doesn't look good, I'm not going to touch it.
well,
you know?
not many people think in this like the gray area.
Right,
Most people are
exactly.
just black or white.
Yeah, yeah.
It's terrible or great.
Yeah.
So, all things considered, I don't blame people for thinking that way.
Right.
Because on a
exactly.
surface level, if I was a casual and I was just looking at some random game, and all of a sudden none of the characters I like from the previous game are in it, it has less characters than the previous game, than the vanilla, than Marvel 3 Vanilla, and it looks worse than Marvel 3 Vanilla, why the fuck am I buying this?
Yeah, right.
And you know
Why
what?
the
Like the
fuck?
thing about like casuals too, like with Injustice, a lot of like casuals, like when I was in my other job back in the day,
They just play for the story mode.
They were just like, dude, I'm excited for the story mode and
Yeah.
the customization.
They
and
just
all that
played
kind
for
of
the
stuff.
story mode.
Like I went online, I got wrecked, but like, I'm excited for the story.
Well, not everybody wants to play online. Not everybody wants to put in
No,
the
dude,
effort. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants to play online. Not everybody wants to put in the
Agree with you,
effort to
Get good.
to learn this fucking
Sure.
character
And
all the
get
time.
good.
And,
They
that,
just
well,
want to
and
play
that's the
Red
idea,
Red.
is that people just want to play as they're cool. This
Yeah.
is why the fighting games that have the most characters,
Play against
the,
their friends
the most
occasionally.
characters and the most stages are the ones
Well,
that sell the best.
Yeah, basically.
and then go down in some of the biggest fighting games ever because the casual appeal, like Marvel 2, like Smash Ultimate, is huge because it has the most to choose from.
Yeah.
That's the game that has Iceman in it. That's the game that has fucking a Mingo in it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's weird. The more options you have of characters, the more chances you have of attaching
Want
like to someone's heartstrings.
characters.
But that's the reason the backlash
Keto,
of the
thank you.
whole, these are functions was so bad is because they didn't
Exactly,
understand.
because it was missing the point of what the casual market likes in
But
fighting games.
what would happen if there was a Capcom Versus or Capcom Legends games that said, okay, well, since we're not going to get the Marvel contract,
Well, that's like the best case scenario, man.
right.
The thing is,
and they
is
use
that-
like characters
That's
that
what-
and
that's
they
what
play
we-
exactly
I
like
I've
Magneto.
literally been
or the-
asking for that since Ultimate Marvel 3 came out.
Well,
As soon as that game kind of
but
But
died.
you do understand you turn those characters into functions. You do understand that if you actually did that.
The
Those
reality,
characters
the
right
reality
here, and it
is
wouldn't be
though,
that big a
is that a Capcom versus Capcom
Doesn't have
it,
as big of appeal.
right.
It wouldn't. Let's say you had a perfect, your dream scenario MVC4, and you had Capcom versus Capcom,
Nice
which was
one,
like
Sarah,
your
thank
perfect
you.
dream scenario Capcom. Marvel 4, a perfect Marvel 4 is going to sell more than a Capcom versus Capcom.
Of course. Well,
Well,
just
yeah.
the title alone.
Just because all
Yeah.
the Marvel
yeah,
characters.
just the title alone,
It's-
and not functions.
And what Simmons,
Oh,
what
yeah.
Simmons is saying is absolutely right. A Capcom versus Capcom game will sell to it'll sell about as good as Mega Man 11. Has a chance of dropping like 1 million units maybe.
Yeah.
But in my opinion,
maybe
you
two, depending how
maybe
long
two.
they
Yeah.
support,
You-
how many
yeah,
they have.
You can't
How good
make a
the gameplay is.
Capcom versus Capcom fighting game nowadays in the same way you can other fighting games. Like we're gonna put a story mode in there.
Yeah.
We're gonna put all this other crazy like adventure mode. In my opinion, that's risky as holy shit. If you're gonna make a Capcom All Stars, Capcom Legends, Capcom Versus, you need to design it like it's Killer Instinct Season 1.
Yeah.
You need to start off with like 10 to
Exactly.
15 characters of just Capcom, some of the Capcom greats. A lot of variety, but it's mostly just like you can play like a story mode with like a small ending, but the game is only $20.
Yeah.
But they're going to expand upon it. The next season adds 10 more characters. And then the next season adds 10 more characters.
I
Yes,
wonder
exactly.
if
That's
that
the way it's gotta
actually.
be done.
I wonder if it actually breaks even for Capcom in the long run, because at the end of the day, you're still sharing your money with Marvel.
Yeah.
So if you make Marvel vs. Capcom,
I think in terms of actual like lucrative,
percentage.
it could definitely be a lot better
Yeah,
if they went for their own thing.
Yeah, if they went for their own
and
thing,
then this happens to take off.
Yeah, then they should just go for
They
that.
should
as
do
opposed
that.
To just
I
doing
mean, I
something
think
with
I think
Marvel
they should have done that for a long damn time.
Right.
But however, a Marvel versus Capcom game has a chance of appealing to nostalgia.
Yeah.
It has a chance of appealing to a younger audience. It has a chance of appealing to the movie audience, and that's what they're betting on NBCI, that they're going to get the movie audience.
Oh yeah, of course. That's what they're
much
going
more
for.
guaranteed sale.
Yes. If you're thinking about it in marketing terms, it's much safer.
Yes.
But there's a couple of things that would definitely have to fall into place. But there should, in my personal opinion, within the next 3 months to E3, there should be an announcement for a Capcom fighting game something.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's Power Stone Collection, Haystack, thank you. Whether or not it's, an HD remake of an older game or a brand new game that we don't even know, maybe even a new fighting game IP, maybe Darkstalkers, I don't know. But we're in that time frame right now where it's like, past 10 years, there's been a lot of shit, and now there's nothing. And there should be something.